During past few years, our online communication has become very frequent, and online communication also contains a lot of phases, including many parts of life. And one of the important parts is education. In the online communication, we will inevitably encounter many advantages and disadvantages. In the past 2 years, we have often learned through online teaching. During the class, we also observe many details and differences from the class in person. The following is our collection and insights on online teaching.
Since the pandemic broke out, the technology of teaching and learning online had risen. As the pandemic became more and more serious, schools in Taiwan had to take some action. One of them is to teach online in order to prevent the disease to pass on. I think there are two advantages of teaching and learning online. Except for reducing the risk of the spread of COVID-19, one of the advantages is that it can save the time of commuting. As a student who lives far away from school, it always takes me about 1 hour to go to school. If I can study at home, I can plan to do anything I want to do in the 2 hours. Another advantage is that students can choose a relatively comfortable space to study. They can study without being interrupted by other students. In that case, students can be more concentrated and have a higher efficiency of learning.
And it's my turn to talk about the cons of online learning. Let's begin with poor study efficiency. Undoubtedly, learning at home has more flexibility and less rejections. To put it simply, there's no teacher supervising us. Self-discipline is the only thing that makes us study. However, there are just too many incentives in our houses that make us inattentive. For instance, we can lie on the bed doing nothing, or even playing video games while the teacher's talking. All the distractions are the reasons that make students absent-minded, which eventually leads to poor study efficiency. Secondly, I would like to talk about the digital divide. Since everyone has different background and financial condition, it is apparent that all the disadvantage will count against the student under poverty line. In rural areas, people might not have enough web servers as the urban do, so they are more likely to lose the opportunity to learn online or earn worse teaching quality.
For my part, I'm gonna talk about how does online learning have an impact to numerous college students. Despite all the convenience that the internet has gave to us, there are still lots of things that are unable to replace. Furthermore, may even harm us in the long term. Fortunately, I was able to have a conversation with a professor that lives in the UK. He says that after years of online learning, open book examination, student has lost their capability to take an examination, and independent thinking was nowhere to be found. Although classes are attended normally, campus life are basically non-existent for students. This can negatively affect their social network, thus resulting in problems like poor group communication, even social anxiety disorder. Even without all of these problems, I think that it's a total loss for students since they are bit by bit losing their precious, one of a lifetime campus life. The opportunity of create unique memory or meet new people that could possibly last for the rest of their life were now gone forever. Through the above-mentioned various materials, we can understand the advantage and disadvantage of online teaching. And we can understand that although online classes have the advantage of being able to study anytime, anywhere, and more freely, they also have many places that make students regress. Take myself as an example. During the epidemic in high school, I don't know how much time I spent on various distressing things while taking online classes.
and it took half a year to realize that I didn't know what exactly I had learned. But no matter what, we cannot deny that communication with real person is still very important. So we hope to fully return to real and normal life, close the computer and interact with real people more.